kind of thing to do if you were paying attention to the earlier stream. Good stream, Mike, with Camel and you.
It was a very fun stream. Laughs were had. Laughs were shared. Yeah, very good overall.
Sounds like Mo says it sounds more like Rob is claiming that Rippa is trying to cancel him. I couldn't cancel anyone. Micra's here. Lethal Diva. Rob starts his own line of comics, the Robberverse versus the Rippaverse. I wonder who would win. Wouldn't be me.
No, it's the Ribbleverse.
That's not bad. Nolan Lockhart's here. Dave Brinks here. Sean Ferreira Schnelly. Devilfish is here. Jeremy Burtz. Scrolling down. D's here. D's been an absolute savage lately, Bancroft, hasn't he? He's just been killing it everywhere.
Yeah, D and Nolan Lockhart. And now today, Eric Canetti. Eric Canetti super chatted me $99.98 today.
Why does he do this to me? Why does he do this?
He can't do it to you. He doesn't.
I know.
He doesn't have the ability.
So why does he do it to you? Oh my God, what a savage.
He appreciates what I do for others, I think. And I appreciate him for appreciating me.
Is Rob trying to get multiple strikes before the stream even starts? I don't know, probably. What's Rob angry about tonight, says Jaro? Everything. Scrolling down. American Comics is here. John Alexson, I'm sorry, dude. I know you're sick of Ripper talk again. We won't talk about it for 2 hours. I promise you that. Skip's here. Scrolling. American Comics Co. Voyager's here. Oh, it's jumped on me. Sheev McQueen, The Voyager, Made in Hell, Geek Hazu, Crackhead. What's grinding Rob's gears? What isn't grinding my gears, Crackhead? Bancroft, we are so close to 1,000 subs, dude. Have you had a look?
It was at 30 something last time I looked.
I think we were at 980. I mean, it could
respectable, very respectable.
Could potentially happen tonight. Potentially. What do we got? Let's have a look. Needs 17.
Put on a good show then.
17. I'm gonna make a banner, and I'm gonna put it at the bottom. If I can do that. Banner. There we go. Subs. Let's edit this one. 17 subs to go. How are you, man? What's news with you?
I figured out I can make videos so much faster if I don't care about how I look or sound.
And
StreamYard,
yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, because normally I would make them I just record them with like QuickTime or something. Then I go into Premiere Pro and I'd have things I would overlay and I would, it was way too much work for what you get out of it. John asked, do I get any work done? A little bit. I'm still working now. But I just thought, why don't I just do what I do in StreamYard? Just record it and then upload it later. And so I've done it twice. It really doesn't take that much time at all. And I made the videos too long. I was supposed to only make them 10 minutes, but I waffle on. I got to try and cut back on the waffle. And I think that's the way forward for me. Get some more videos out.
And you're not editing it. You just.
No, I'm trying no edits. Like I've done one edit. I did one edit where I was like, I said, and thanks for and I was like, oh, okay, I'll say that again. And I just edited that out. But that's Yeah,
it's tough. Like if you make a mistake, do you start the video all over again, or do you go back and edit it?
I don't want to do that.
You just put it out there and fuck it, it's good enough, it'll do.
Yeah, that's what I think. Quantity over quality when it comes to videos.
Once you can have members, Rob will be on board with that. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. That's really cool. Really cool. It's close, man, hopefully. Reaper Destroyer is closing out in less than an hour, probably about 50 minutes from now.
I think it closed. Well,
really?
It went into in demand. Yeah.
Did it?
If you refresh it.
There you go. It's in demand. Crazy first effort.
716. That is nuts.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Do you remember what you got?
My very first campaign, I had 96 backers.
Yeah, but what about even your last campaign?
812, I think.
On close? No, but after the 60 days, I mean.
Oh, no. Hang on. I can probably find
I had
that
like
out.
490, I think. So, yeah,
this
is some impressive
so impressive
campaign here.
I had 511. So I reckon he's going to break 1,000. It might take a little time, but he'll
forget about it. Yeah, he'll make 1,000 easy.
Joe's here. Awesome, man. Congrats, dude. Absolutely amazing kind of stuff that you've done this first campaign too. You put a lot of work into it, and to see you, 50,000 is incredible. So congrats, dude. Dalkeon cover. I mean, I wonder how that came about, Mike. Like, do you think just Joe doing that series on Dale, like appreciating Dale's art and talking about Pitt, is what started that, kicked it off for him?
Should probably ask him.
Yeah, should probably ask him. And then
rather than just speculate.
Well, why not? And then Kemosabe is closing out the company man. That's
we got like 8 backers or something for Kemosabe. I wasn't expecting that because obviously it's been around for a while, but I mean, the subject of the stream was word of mouth really works, and yeah, everyone was really talking up company men.
Yeah. He's done really well for a first timer too. I mean, funded, broke 10 grand. His next one will be even better, I'm sure. Gabe's here. Hey, dude. Good to see you. Jasper's here. Good to see you. Fowler's here. Chemo broke 10K. Is dope. Ryan Johnston's here. Good to see you, man, as well. Just amazing wins happening for CG. Where is Eric in that whole scheme of things, Mike? He's not CG, is he? Like, he hasn't said I'm CG, but he's CG adjacent or CG friendly.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That you have to like announce your membership or anything like that. I don't really care. I've seen him. He has, it's like he said he's CG. He has awesome. Absolutely has. And then, but more, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, more importantly, he believes in, and he's a massive proponent of all the same stuff that we say. And that's, that should be enough for anyone, really.
I mean, yeah, it is for me. I'm happy with anyone that is happy to hang out with CG. You don't have to say you're CG to me. That's fine. Like, as long as you're not shitting on us and you're a cool dude, that's totally cool with me. But this is an absolute game changer. And we've got 2 people from CG who are actually working on the book. Gabe's doing the colors and Eric's doing the letters. So, they're going to make that association anyway. They're going to call him CG, even if he said he's not, even though Crackhead said he said it in the past. So I think it's really cool. This is absolutely insane. We're looking at Ethan's campaign, Wreck Planet, which is by far the biggest in CG by an absolute truckload. I think the other ones, like the other highest ones, are like 400K, something like that. And then Ethan's at like 1.2 million. And then you got Rippa, who does this in like 2 days, just under 1.5 million and 16,000 backers. Insane.
Game changer. Yeah, everyone's going around saying this was a foregone conclusion. Like, of course this happened. Look how many subs he has. Look at how much. A couple of days ago, people weren't sure. No, I don't think anyone was thinking this. But people were thinking over 1 million, but not necessarily in a day. So, yeah, I don't think anyone guessed it would be this crazy. But, yeah, I mean, he's just like, not only does he have his own massive audience, he's got multiple massive audiences out there supporting him and shouting him out, and yeah, it all helps. Even even, you know, a guy like me, and I'm just one guy who was sending out tweets about the weirdos who were, you know, calling him Uncle Tom and stuff. You know, I had 5 or 6 people reply to that Twitter thread saying either, well, I'm going to go back it now and I'm going to get 2 books, or I've already backed it, I'm going to go back it again just to spite these losers. So, you know, imagine that multiplied over you know, thousands and thousands of people, and it all starts to sort of, you know, you start to figure out how this happens.
This is a really pessimistic take, and it's just like a question I have in general, right? I like, he's got a really big audience, like 400,000.
You being a pessimist? What?
400,000 people on YouTube. These other channels that are really excited to have him on, are they excited to have him on because they, you know, they want to support his book, or are they excited to have him on because his channel's bigger than theirs and they want to leverage that?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think you can be both at the same time. I mean, that's how this whole network works, isn't it? It's sort of like a big back scratching exercise.
Yes, Rob.
I
like that.
I am genuinely happy. Yeah, Jasper, welcome to the mind of Rob. I'm genuinely happy when I see people winning, you know, doing good stuff. But at the same time, I also want to make money off my channel and build my own audience. So yeah, it's like a bit of both. That's how it works, and that's how the whole thing works. And you know, Rippa got to the position where he was himself by doing the same thing. You know, he networks and communicates with other bigger channels, and then eventually he's the big channel. You know, that's how it works.
5 more minutes, John. Hang in there. Hopefully it's only 5 more. Might be longer. I don't know.
It's all right, Rob. We can. This is massive news.
It's huge.
Massive. We can dissect it. This is what this show is. This is name bigger news than this that's happened in crowdfunding, or I mean, no, it's not technically crowdfunding, right? Independent comics in 2 years. I'll wait.
Oh, legend. Elroy says I subbed here off a Rippaverse tweet. It's fucking great. For a new creator, can we all charge $35 plus shipping? Beating a dead horse. Yeah.
Yes, John, you say that, but there's people here that might not have caught the other streams. Every time I go onto a stream, I go on with the assumption that this might be the first time someone's ever seen me or heard of me. And just like Jasper says, he's waited all week to hear our take on it. So, I mean, this is what we do. This show is specifically about what's going on in indie comics, Comicsgate, crowdfunding, all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna chat about it. And plus, I think we have some interesting takes. I don't agree with Rob on
everything.
There's nothing to learn from Rippa's campaign. I think
we'll get into that. That's interesting. We'll touch on this too, Baby Sloth, because there is something in that, the $1 deal recently that made 100K. There is something about cheap books that could do really well for people. Murph, as an example, he's approaching 64,000 Bancroft, and he's going to hit 2,000 backers first campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And he's got 5 books for $25. So he's definitely breaking that standard CG mold. But we'll come back to that. Yeah. So I mean, I came across this post on Facebook, and it says everyone should be taking notes on young Rippa's campaign. There's so much to learn, and I'm just like, is there really? Because me,
okay, let's clarify terms here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you reading that as in the actual campaign, what's on the page? Are you reading that as in the campaign in general, as in what's happening? Because I think they're two different things, and I think the way you answer will.
I guess I'm talking more about the campaign itself, like the campaign
in its
page.
entirety. Okay, in that case, you're wrong.
Okay, go, shoot.
You make your point first, and I will rebut.
Oh,
That's how
so
this
I'm
works.
wrong. I'm wrong.
No, you make your point first, and I rebut. That's how this works.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry, Mike, for breaking format of how we do the show. Like I look at this, right, and don't get me wrong, right, like what he's done is inspirational. It is something that I could only ever dream of doing, and what he's done is incredible. I'm not saying anything apart from that. I'm just saying that as like myself as a comic creator, I like look at the campaign. I don't think there's a heap of things I can actually learn from the campaign. I mean, build a rabid fan base, build a massive YouTube channel. You know, those things. It's like get good, get bigger, get better. Apart from that, I mean, I'm not really seeing it. What am I missing, Mike? What am I missing?
Like always, Rob, you're missing subtlety. You're missing nuance.
Yeah, hit me.
Build an audience. Okay, what does that mean? There's plenty of other people out there who've built audiences, big audiences. What was that burger book that didn't do anything? Who's that guy you always talk about who's got 2 million followers and can't get anyone to buy his art?
Boss Logic.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the nuance that you're missing here. It's the way, and I think what you need to do is go and watch a bit of Rippa. It's the way the way he presents himself, the way he's built his audience. We talk about this all the time. The audience is like your garden. You have to tend to it. What you plant there is what you grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the words he uses, the language he uses. It's what he's saying. It's what he stands for. What Rippa stands for as a person plays a massive role in that number that we're looking at. It's huge. You can't underplay that. Like he has set himself really apart from even like obviously from what sort of Fandom Menace have been doing, but even what Comicsgate has been doing, because you know Comicsgate, the wisdom has still been, let's get people in here by talking about mainstream stuff or laughing at gay Superman and all that sort of stuff. Okay, and there's a time and a place for that, whatever. Obviously, the Fandom Menace, they're like very much all about talking about pop culture, geek stuff, Star Wars. This guy says no. Like he says, F all that. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to know it. Like, let's focus 100% on like what you're doing and put everything into that. Okay, so that's the first thing you can learn. Like this guy is like, we talk about enthusiasm and passion for your own stuff. I mean, this guy he's got that laser focused, right?
So
Jasper,
you're saying there's more to learn from the fact of how he built his audience rather than like
yes, but that's part of the whole camp. That, I mean, you want to talk about why is this campaign? Why is this book doing $1.5 million? Well, because of Rippa, because of Eric July. That's why, right? Now, on top of that, he's the first one that I know of, at least at a scale that would really shake a lot of people's boots, to go out on his own. And I know it's not technically crowdfunding.
Gabe's countering your point.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me walk it back a bit.
You walk that back.
When he talks about the mainstream all day long, he's talking about we should leave it behind. Yeah, we should stop giving them money. All that sort of stuff. I think there's a difference there. Comicsgate is a lot closer to what Rippa says and believes than other groups. Yeah. So that's sort of, at least that's my understanding of it, Gabe. Like he says, like don't support Star Wars or like Marvel or DC or anything, like cut them off. So when he talks about them, he's talking about them in that capacity is what I meant. Okay. Yeah, so for a guy like Brian with Dwarfs versus Junkman to go out on his own and, you know, do his own website, it's a risk, but it's not like it's not like it can make or break Brian's life, right? If it fails, oh well, he'll recoup, he'll come back around, and he'll, you know, try something different next time. Rippa invested $200,000. He's been building up his channel, you know, building this wealth that he can afford to do this, and then he just like goes against all convention and says, "No, I'm not paying those fees. Why would I? They're restrictive, and now, you know, they're holding people's money and all that stuff." I anticipate that my campaign is going to, you know, be so much money that it's going to be, the fees are going to be ridiculous. And he was right. And that was a massive gamble. That, like, this is risk taking in business, and it's paying off. Let's like, people are generally risk averse in life. We're no different to that in Comicsgate. And here's a guy who's like, no, screw that. I'm going to see what's on the other side of this wall and just smash through it. By the end of this campaign, now he says he's spent $200,000 to do this, setting up all of the, you know, getting the book made and setting up the warehouse and everything. He will have paid for that entire investment and plus some, purely on the money he's going to save by not paying the Indiegogo fees.
Hang on, what was that?
Is that not a massive lesson?
He's going to what? He's going to
make back the $200,000
that you think he would have paid on Indiegogo fees.
Absolutely.
Do you? What's the percentage of Indiegogo? Is it
5%? What's he already up to?
He's up to 1.5 million.
Yeah, let me do that. 1.5 times 0.05. He's already at 75,000. By the end of this campaign, he will have covered his initial outlay through money he saved from not going through Indiegogo.
You might be right, dude. You might be right. I'd be interested to know, man, how much money did Comicsgate make last year? Do we know? Do we have easy access to that?
It's on the Creator Go site, yeah.
Like, is he going to make more money than all of CG for a whole year by the end of it?
No. Maybe. I don't know. Let me have a look. Never remember the URL of this site. I always have to go.
Damn it, Bancroft. That's smart.
Yeah,
CG
I am. Occasionally I have it. Occasionally I, you know. I don't think Rippa's going to start his own crowdfunding site. I don't think that's. I think he's going to do what he probably should do. He seems to be a very shrewd businessman. He's going to invest in himself and building his company, because he's said time and time again he wants to actually build an alternative to mainstream.
Would it not be beneficial for him to build it like a general crowdfunding site where other people can go and take a percentage of that money, like 5%? No. At the moment, dude, like at the moment, honestly, if he had a site that was up, I would consider it as an alternative to Indiegogo right now.
Why?
With all the things that they're doing lately, Mike, I'm starting to get concerned.
Rippa is not a... No. Rippa is not a crowdfunder. He's not even crowdfunding his book. He's not a crowdfunding service. He's a guy who's making a comic. He's a guy who's making a comic, and he's making excellent decisions, as evidenced by the amount he's raised, to fund that. It's not. I shouldn't even say that. The comic is sort of, I wouldn't say it's irrelevant, because it is obviously, the sort of focal point. He's building a company. That's what he's doing. He's building a company. And no, he's not. That's like I don't know. I mean, he's not going to get into the game of being a crowdfunding website. I mean, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. That's a whole different thing. And I don't think it would be a smart idea. I think it would be a better idea for other people who are worried to go the route that Brian Aerith Saga's going, and doing it that way. And Rippa should focus on this, on the Rippaverse, and whatever books come out. It sounds like Isom is going to be the first one. There'll be other books. It sounds like it's all going to be part of one, MCU type universe, but not with all the trappings and weirdness of the MCU. Yeah. And that's just two things I think he's done that we can learn from. We can learn about building hype from Rippa. We can learn about the importance of putting forward a sort of a manifesto of sorts.
I actually liked that.
What
thing
your
that
company stands for.
A mission statement.
A mission statement. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like it because, I mean, I don't disagree, and I agree with everything he said in his mission statement, or you want to manifesto, whatever you want to call it. Like he's mentioned things. Where is it?
2021, we raised 5.7.
Dude, I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility, which is insane. Like, if you consider it's all of CG for 12 months, and he's going to do it could potentially do it in one campaign. But he said stuff like, no alternate timelines, no multiverse, and I cannot emphasize how much I hate that shit. I hate it so much. I can't stand it.
There you go.
It's like the fucking worst thing ever. It's like, let's take a character whose death means something, there's stakes, and let's just wipe it all out, and it doesn't fucking matter anymore. I hate that shit. It is the worst. What's crazy is, like, this 16,000 backers or whatever, 12,000, 7,000, 3,000, 3,000, 1,500. How many books has he actually sold? It is a fucking shit ton. Very impressive.
A lot.
Lazy writing. Yeah, it's just like...
You got to read Mo's comment. You got to read Mo's comment, because he brought up another important lesson that you can get from this campaign.
Oh, Rob, you need to read this comment. I can thinking something you could learn from Eric July, which would benefit you right now. Always wear a hat on camera. Fuck's sake, Mo.
Okay, so I did a video yesterday, and people were asking, what the hell was I talking about? Because I was sort of, I did keep it vague because I didn't want to really call out anyone. But, there was some grumbling yesterday about, is this what we have to do now to sell comics? We have to be, because Ripper he's a musician, he's a political pundit, he's a pop culture pundit, and now he's a comic book creator. But is this what we have to do now? We have to be internet pundits, and we have to like stream and be entertaining in that sense. And I said, well, if you want to do it the old way, and by that, I guess the old way is, sort of using more traditionally established methods, building a website. Like Clint Stoker was talking about it. Like TKO had millions in venture capital, got together top artists, started putting out good books, and doing it that way. And by all accounts, I think they did quite well. I don't know. They certainly didn't do anything like this. They certainly didn't make any sort of, like this sort of racket. John's out. Yeah.
John's out.
Sorry, John.
Cool.
It's going to last for a couple of days, John, at least. It's just this is what's happening. This is like this massive for us. So
Yeah.
otherwise, we'll be talking about ribs, But anyway, and well, God, who can we look at? Other independent creators, the Rags team, obviously Iconic, the Brightwisers. They've taken sort of more traditional route in getting their books made and distributed and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to do this, if you really want to just blow the lid off things, it really does seem to be the case that you've got to make some kind of connection with an audience that want to hear what you have to say and are engaged, and give them something to believe in, because that's how it really, the rocket really takes off. And obviously it remains to be seen long term, because I do think the IP and the actual quality and fun and everything of the Rippaverse itself, the actual comics, that will ultimately play a much larger role going forward over the years as to the sort of success of it. But yeah, that's sort of, so that here you go. This is an extreme example that you can see now. It's on display. If you can find the charisma and you can have opinions that people are interested in hearing and all that sort of stuff, this is, as far as we're aware of now, sort of the mountaintop that you can look up to and say, can I do that?
Yeah, it is funny though. Ethan, I always say, he if we're all planets, he's like the sun. He's like the top dog. He's massive, in comparison to everyone else. Like I said before, I think the highest, people around this area, that it was 400K. Someone, I think it was Jawbreakers made. And Ethan was 1.2. It's $800,000 difference. This is the next star up. Have you seen that video, Bancroft, where they show all the planets?
The suns.
Yeah, and you're just that's insane. He's the next.
I wasn't aware how big Rippa was, even when I was watching his videos. But then I went on to Social Blade and saw that he's gonna he gets 3 million views a month.
Yeah,
and that's 5 or 6 times bigger than Ethan. That's when I really thought, oh, okay, this is going to be massive, because that's not I'm going to go shield my book on Ben Shapiro to people who couldn't care less. That's hundreds of thousands of super engaged potential fans who are ready to go, and they're engaged every day pretty much.
Jasper says Ethan is not huge in comparison to other YouTube channels. He is when you're comparing it to us, obviously. But yeah,
this is obviously all in perspective. Even Rippa's channel is
pretty
small. You who was it? Mr. Beast was saying, I picked up a small channel. I took him under my wing, and I got him from, he was only making 20,000 a month with a couple of million views, and I got him up to $250,000 a month with 25 million views a month or something. I was like, okay, so this is everything is relative on YouTube.
Elra says, can I get the beginning of Replicated? There's a link to the sign up in the thing below. Sign up to Bancroft's Pain and Death as well. It's going to be a great book, Bancroft.
It's going to be a magnificent book. I hear you, Jasper, and trust me, I feel you as well. I completely understand, but I got a plan, and I'm gonna stick with it, I think.
What's your plan? 13 subs to
My
go.
whole
Oh my
launch
gosh, we're
plan.
so close. Okay, Lethal D, let's read this. Right, one problem I see with Isom on his cam page load, it looks like he looks like 3 different people. Like that pic of Isom is great, but then he looks like a Puerto Rican in another picture. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he's got different artists
Yeah,
doing covers, so that's I mean, I imagine that's what's happening there.
Mo says he's a shapeshifter. Yeah, anything else about this, mate, or should we move on to something else?
Well, let's segue into that thing that I wanted to share because
Yeah,
it's
sure.
sort of vaguely related. It is related. And it's an interesting thing. It's got to do with Comicsgate. So yeah, I want to share this.
What is Kanan White's real name? Isn't it Kanan White?
I think it's Kanan White. Yeah.
You're not
I think
sharing
what's
anything else?
happened is I don't know if Kanan wanted. I think Kanan's using a pen name now, but we all recognize his style so much that we're like, oh, that's Kanan.
Skip says, I thought the trailer was too long. He didn't sound excited, but then I saw the money and I'm buying a smoke machine to make a new trailer.
There you go. Like, there's another thing we can learn.
What?
Production values. We can all improve our production values a little bit. It really does instill sort of confidence in the product.
I think you did a great job of that in particular with your trailer. Like, I think that was a top level trailer, and it really it gets people excited to sign up for the campaign. I think you did really well there.
Yeah. Do I still believe IP matters more than promoting personality? In the long run, yes. And in the short run, assuming that you're not a really massive superstar a YouTuber, like the whole thing about the things that Rob and I, we make suggestions on this site. We're talking to the everyman, really. We're talking
Yeah.
to the guy out there. He's got a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand Twitter followers, probably doesn't have a channel, or if he does, it's pretty small. And he's trying to figure out, how to optimize what he's doing. Or he's trying to figure out why his comic isn't doing as well as others that he sees out there. So I think when I say that, I do
sharing
believe
something?
in the long run, yes, IP will matter most. In the immediate, it I think it can be either or, depending on who the person is and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, this definitely is I think what we're seeing here is a clear example of someone who's being supported because people want to support him and what he's doing and what he believes in. But at the same time, I mean, if this was let's look at if this was say I don't know, a very weebish book about a chick who plays tennis. Like the Rippaverse was a weeb book about a chick who plays tennis. And, that's it. And they exist. Like, do you think it would be making 1.5 million? No, it's definitely still get a lot of backing. But so it's like it matters, but there's subtlety in there. So yeah, I think we saw how much the IP matters with Reaper Destroyer. There you go.
Well, yeah, we did. I mean, you can say the same thing for Starlight Cats and Inglorious Rex too. I mean, there's a huge difference between the two. Mobig says, I'm hearing you guys on this raising the production values thing. You know, my heart is set on shipping ARO wrapped in a rubber band. But what about an add-on tier like your boy, $10 for a Gemini? God damn.
No comment. I've already spoken my piece on that. I feel like I was actually hoodwinked there.
You've
bit.
said too much. Said too much about it. Are you sharing something? You said you were going to. Okay.
What do you think of this?
Can I just share something first because it ties into this? No, don't worry.
Genuine Comics says, in Rippa's case, it doesn't matter. It matters a little. The IP he's talking about. It matters a bit. Like, actually, no, I'll take that back. I think it does matter. But it's just being overshadowed right now with this event. Like, I think it more and more. So, like, he's still got 70 days left in his campaign. I think it's going to matter more and more as the campaign continues. Now he's going to really, all the people who were always going to back him no matter what have backed him. Now it's about convincing people to buy into Ism and the Rippaverse. Or Ism, sorry.
Oh, 11 subs to go. Thank you, Jeremy Burtz. That's so close, man.
And in the long run, it's really going to matter. Like, look at Star Wars. IP matters, if you screw with the IP, if you screw with the story.
I think Star Wars has to be the most disappointing franchise that's ever existed.
John asked an important question. Will Isam have the longevity of White-Faced Dick? Well, how old is White-Faced Dick? Let's have a look.
Just because it's old, Bancroft, doesn't mean it's popular,
though. I'll have you know that G.A. Henty, author of In the Hands of Cave Dwellers, was a prolific author of his day.
Star Wars is dead to me.
It doesn't actually have a date on it. I'm going to imagine it's quite old.
Star Wars sucks and is making bank because of outrage marketing. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think Star Wars, super interesting IP, super really cool everything that has just been pouring out shit after shit. Like, they'll have one good movie to every 5. They'll have like one good game to every, 5 shit games, so on and so on. Just really frustrating. And they always tie it back to the original ones, and that pisses me off. It's like, there's so many interesting stories they could do that they just don't do. What is this, Bancroft?
This is a book by Phenom Comics. People tried to convince me back in the day to make my imprint Phenom Comics.
Spelled
phenomenal,
like that? Yeah.
And I thought that seemed a bit like on the nose. Like, you're calling yourself a phenom, as a one-man thing. Maybe if you're a team, it's fine. But this came out yesterday. Kickstarter project. Hashtag
Comicsgate. Yeah, interesting.
Phenom Comics looks brand new. They got 23 followers. They're an independent comics company. They're putting out something on Kickstarter. Now I wonder. I don't know, but it does make me wonder. Do people? Are these? Is this? Are they putting this out? Did they hashtag it with Comicsgate because they saw Comicsgate is trending? Do they? Are they Comicsgate? They got 18,000 raised. Like,
gee, it's doing well.
That's a big number for someone on Kickstarter who's attached to Comicsgate, which makes me think that they might not be. Like, they might just be
using the hashtag.
Which
Jasper says, I think this creator was on Pop XP.
So maybe they are believers of CG, or just like, or they just maybe not. They want to promote to CG. How about that?
Chuck
like, I don't know. Was it because, like, and I'm saying it's connected to Rippa because Comicsgate was trending because of Rippa.
Yeah.
And they saw that and like, oh, I'll share it with that. Get some people. The book definitely looks pretty good. Is this what happens on Kickstarter? You get like a gazillion covers.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Let's see if we can see.
Oh, is that the wheel of where the money's going? Oh, no
No, that's the
rules.
rules.
Okay, right.
Hunter beats bear, bear beats ninja, ninja beats hunter. That's rock, paper, scissors game.
Nunes
The art looks incredible.
is a comic skater, apparently. Nunes is a comic skater.
Looks...
Chuck Dixon's a writer.
Nunes. Oh, it's got Chuck Dixon on it. Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the colorist.
Nunes
Tiny
who?
Baby
Who's the guy? I know that name, Nunes. Ivan Nunes.
Yeah, he's a colorist.
He's the colorist.
I think he. I think.
Who's
I think
the creator, or is it? It's a company.
Gee, the colors are great.
You know, I have seen this. You've shown me this, Rob. We've seen
Have
this.
I?
Yeah, yeah, we've seen this. This art. I don't know where. At least I. Yeah, we've seen this. Or maybe I have.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Well, there you go. Look, I didn't know. I wanted to put it out to you guys. It was presented to me by someone who's like, is this comic skate, or are they just using the hashtag to like, because it's popular now? Which would have been interesting in and of itself if we had gotten there. It sounds like he is comic skate. You know what? I think this person might have reached out to me. I'll have to go back and check that. I don't know. But yeah, man, this looks great.
360 pages for $30, says Mo. I mean, that's a deal, isn't it?
Can you imagine like where we are now in July 2022? If I had have said to you, you got these rad CG books on Kickstarter, presumably only on Kickstarter. Look at that.
That's fantastic.
And Rippa's like got his own site. He's made a 1.5 million in a couple of days, and Indiegogo is like holding on to people's cash for showing violence on their campaigns.
Yeah, I'm really
at the start of the year. You would have been like, "What? No way." Kickstarter's a funny beast, but man, that looks great.
Everyone's comic skate, and we can use the hashtag. We don't gatekeep. We're CG, not Bancroft. Looks impressive.
Yeah, I know. I'm not admonishing anyone, Skip. I'm saying like I just wanted to know because I didn't like I'd never heard of this. So I was like, usually if you do a show or you're sort of I'm around comic skate every day, I kind of hear stuff. And now that I see it, I'm thinking maybe I have seen this. Like I know I've definitely seen the art before. And that makes me wonder like in what context. Maybe someone sent it to me or they asked to come on the show. I don't know. But yeah, it looks right.
I used to have an issue with people claiming they were CG when they're not. I don't care so much anymore because the chat, man, if they're not CG to the chat will find out and they'll judge them themselves. We've seen it before. We've seen people try and use CG when they're clearly not CG and skirt the issue. But yeah, it's up to the chat.
Yeah, I don't even like. Yeah, I don't know. I look at it more just like, are you here promoting to Comic Skate? Are you happy to do that? That's it. Like, I don't really need anything else or want anything else.
Gabe, if you're in the chat, Bancroft gave you a really good compliment earlier. He said your colors over Kanan were the best colors he's seen over Kanan.
I did say that, yeah. Assuming that was you, Gabe.
Yeah, if it's not, well, then he has to take it back. I really like this comment from Dan Lawless. It was on Camel's stream earlier, and he said the new comics are two products: your comic and your personality. Marvel and DC still only offer one product. I thought that was really interesting. What do you think about that, Bancroft?
Yeah, that's a really witty, concise way of saying what I was mumbling about for 10 minutes earlier. That's the new way. So if you don't want to include your personality in it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're going to be looking on from the side. I mean, you might make decent money, but you're not going to be making Ripper money. You're not going to be making Ethan money. You're probably not going to be making Shane Davis and John Malin money. So this definitely is. I'll just say, if you can, yeah, and if you have a personality that people actually like, what a great way to build your audience. I know, like, people say this and I always go, really? They say, I don't want anyone backing my book just because they like me or they want to support me. I just want them buying my book because they want my book. Like, that's just a good way to ensure that you're really kind of cutting yourself off to a certain specific audience. This comic book game is hard enough as it is. Like, use anything you have at your disposal, anything at all, to convince people to take money out of their wallets and give it to you. That's the way I see it.
Do you
And
care? Here's a question for you. Do you care if someone buys your book and never reads it? Like, they have no intention of reading it. They're just buying it to support you.
no, I thank them.
Geek says 10 subs to 1K, maybe 7, because I have 3 other accounts. Let's go. That'd be sick, man. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, I think this is really good. A really smart way of looking at things. Marvel and DC still only offer one product, and it's one product that less and less people want as time goes on. And they don't, like you guys are saying, they don't offer a personality, and if they do, their personality sucks. Look at Mark Brooks. How can anyone like that guy? How can anyone like him?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's not being a turd to the people on his side, He's only being a turd to people that they already dislike. So, think of someone that you dislike, and then imagine someone's like a real dick to them. Are you going to care? Probably not.
Tiny Baby Stuff. I want to read Replicator, but I don't want to pay for shipping. The shipping's not too bad, man. Consider it next campaign. That'll be great. Mortfleet says his own wife didn't like him. Marvel used to have Stan Lee to fill the personality void. Yeah, what a charismatic dude he was. I thought of something really interesting, Bancroft, the other day, and that is like avenues of sales. So bear with me for a second here, right? Let's take you, for example. You have Indiegogo. You have YouTube, which includes super chats and members. So that's up to 3. And then you've got eBay as well on top of that. So you got 4 different sales avenues for you to make money from comics, right? I have one, and that is terrible. Absolutely terrible. My own fault, my own choice. But I was looking at Ethan, right? He's got Indiegogo, he's got the 2 from YouTube, he's got eBay, and he's got Patreon. So he's got 5 at least, probably even more that I'm forgetting.
Well, he's also got pre-existing work, so he gets royalties.
Royalties, yeah. So I mean, that is something that.
Oh, and if you want to count commissions, were he to do them,
yeah,
if you wanted to.
So I mean, that's definitely something that I can definitely improve on. Jasper's always talking about diversifying. He's talking more about reach, but I mean, you can't just have one avenue of sales and be successful, I think.
No, the sooner you can figure out how to make money while you sleep, the better off you'll be. That's the end goal. That's what you want to do. And that's why comics it's really hard slog while you're getting them made. But if you can grind it out, build that audience, and have people support you along the way, and then at the end of it, you got a back catalog that people are actually interested in buying and reading, that if the work is already done, all you have to do is send it to them. I mean, that's printing money. That's the dream.
I'm just thinking,
always have something to sell.
if you take John Malin, he's probably not that far. He's probably closer to me than Ethan, because he's got the campaigns. He doesn't do eBay or any second chance. He doesn't have members, does?
Yeah, but he does. He started to make pretty good money off YouTube, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So he's got YouTube.
he offsets those, ongoing constant sales by setting up scarcity while the campaign's live, to push those numbers up while it's live. And then on top of that, that frees him up. So if he doesn't have someone who's like handling the fulfillment, that might be the smartest thing for him to do, rather than having to, like Ethan will say, every morning he gets up, okay, what are the orders I'm taking down to the post office? And it could be a van full. So,
and I guess
you got to consider this stuff.
I guess you could also say he may not be diversifying like all the different sales avenues, but he's diversifying what he's creating. So he's creating more things and getting more money that way. That's an interesting way to look at it. Perth says, he asked, I don't know if it was him that asked, but he said, what do you think Rare Planet Second Chance will get to?
Yeah, I got no idea.
It's going to be.
I don't like speculating.
You're fun.
Numbers.
You're fun.
I just don't know if there's any chance that I'll be right. I mean, it would just be a pure guess. And if I'm low, that's an insult. And if I'm high, it's also a kind of insult. Yeah. We'll just let that one go through to the keeper, I reckon.
Rise Above says, you could try and reach the art community on platforms like Instagram by showing your art videos, especially how to draw, very popular on YouTube, if you wanted to make a separate channel. There is so much to do and not enough time.
We've found that I sound like the turtle from Neverending Story. We've found that Instagram and TikTok are not actually that good at converting.
Weren't you saying TikTok was like the next Jesus?
No, I said you get a lot of engagement on TikTok. I thought it was a worthy experiment. We tried it. People tried it. It didn't change anything. It's like I had 25,000 Webtoon followers who were interested in my book. Yeah. But I needed to come to Comicsgate and build my audience here and on YouTube before anyone would actually want to support me financially. So it doesn't matter if you got 25,000 Webtoon followers. Doesn't matter if you've got 50,000 TikTok followers. It doesn't matter if you have 50,000 Instagram followers. It really doesn't make a lick of difference over here in physical crowdfunding space.
I think that
this happens on YouTube. And the only way you can do it without YouTube is to build a mailing list. And then you got to ask, how are you going to build that mailing list?
Going back to young Rippa for a second, I think I don't know how successful all these other platforms and how engaged they are, but obviously YouTube, it has to be the number one platform for promoting comic books. I don't think you can make an argument against that anymore. Do you agree?
I don't think anyone did ever make that argument.
They used to, man. They used to.
I didn't know. Jasper, it wasn't that. I used TikTok for 2 weeks and then they shadow banned me. And then obviously that put a bit of a dampener on things. But then I just was watching other people in CG grow and get massive numbers, and it really doesn't mean anything. Elon Musk just found out that a huge percentage of Twitter users are bots. Can you imagine what it is on TikTok?
Did you see that tweet where there's 9 accounts and they're all tweeted the same exact thing from different people. Chemo got another backer. Congrats, man. It's still moving up, which is great. Dude, I'm really concerned about Indiegogo. Like, behind the scenes, everyone, I've had my sign up page for, let me bring it up for a little while now, but you can't find it if you're searching for it. And I'm wondering if it's because there's violence on there.
I'm wondering if it's because you're logged in as you, because you said you can find me.
Yeah.
You can find Painted Death.
This isn't a preview camera.
But I can't find it.
All right. Maybe that's...
Let me see if I can find you. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Are you talking about in the launching soon category?
Hang on 1 second. Yes. I'm trying to figure out how to get my fucking page.
All right. I'll have a look. It's this... That thing is a bit meh.
What is the coming soon?
Yeah, the whole system.
Yeah, but you want it to at least be there so you know everything's working properly. Not enough CGs have digital. Are you doing digital for your next one or no?
Like on the campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly how, but like in the sense of how much I'm going to charge for it or anything. But yeah, I mean, I think my shipping will be pretty competitive.
So I had a decapitated head in this image right here. I switched that out just in case that was what is the reason that it's not showing up.
I doubt it. I don't reckon they're checking what's on the coming soon pages.
Yeah, you say that. Look, CG Vacation can't be found either unless you get it there through the direct link. I'm really concerned.
I didn't find you, and I didn't find me. So
I can find you though. Hang on, let me just.
You say that,
but I can find you from searching. So let me share again.
Well, I can find you from searching.
Can you though? Can you actually type Replicator in and find my campaign, Replicator 4? That's my question.
Oh, I thought I could. Oh no, I can't. Right.
So look, see, you're right here.
Is that from search?
Yeah, I just typed in the Lucent. That's all I did.
Fair enough. All right.
Tiny Baby Sloth says he can find me.
I couldn't find Rob.
Yeah, I can't find me either. Other people can't find me. If you can, man, take a screenshot or something and send
Watercolor yoga mats by Lucent Who Yoga.
Australians are blacklisted on IGG, dude. I feel like this is what's happening. I'm shadow banned. I had to Google search Replicator 4 to find the sign up. Yeah.
Well, we do know they are shadow banning. That's the thing they're doing now.
I'm yeah, like I said, dude, I'm really concerned with the campaign, like how, if it's going to be allowed to run, like if they're going to let it go up, and if they are, like how much am I going to have to leave off the campaign page for it to be okay? Like, I'm actually concerned about it. You think that's valid, or do you think I'm being a little bit...
Yeah, if you had have bothered to watch my video today, you would have heard that I said exactly that.
What?
That if I were you, I would be a little worried that you're not going to be able to really show off the best pages in your upcoming book because of the whole violence thing, graphic violence.
I can't stand it, Mike. I can't stand the fact that we're censoring art. I like it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, the news shows violence and death, but we can't show art that has death in it. I don't get it. I don't like the direction it's going in at all. Zayd appears to have been shadow banned for sexy women. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, sexy women and violence have no place in comic books.
It's fucking crazy. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of running like a, I don't know, what would you call it, a simultaneous campaign on Shopify at the same time as the Indiegogo, and that will have all the images that I can't show on Indiegogo. It'll have all the different payment options like PayPal and Afterpay or whatever you guys call it in America. You know, we pay and you pay in installments, whatever you guys call it over there. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think I was planning to do the same thing because I got like 30 or so people who just bought Waking Dream through PayPal because they
That's
couldn't get
crazy.
their credit card to work, or they didn't want to use a credit card, or just whatever. So I just would take their PayPal payment and I would put them in a spreadsheet. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to actually, make that real. Like I said,
Yeah.
like we were saying earlier, it's like increase your production values a little bit. So I'll get Mel onto that.
Yeah.
Get it working.
I guess one of the things that concerns me most about the no violence, no, not just the no violence thing, but they will tell you, Indiegogo, that there is a problem on your campaign, but there's no accountability for what the problem is. It's just like,
That's because
you
it's a
have a
bot.
problem, you fix it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
that's because
bullshit.
someone flags it.
Bullshit.
Because, yeah, here's what happens, Rob. So in the back end, the administrator will have a flag campaign button and it'll give them like bullet points as to what violation to their terms of service you've made. So, it'll be violence, depictions of violence or harassment or depictions of graphic sex or something like that. And so they'll just hit submit, and you get the email. They don't do anything. That's how this stuff works. And then it'll be up to you to contact them. And then they'll open a ticket and someone will get to it when they get to it. In the meantime, that's all you got. Like, that's what you're left with. So, like, that's what happened to, Vaughn over the weekend. Everyone goes home and he's just like stuck. He can't get his money. That's another massive thing that not enough people are really considering here. Rippa's got his 1.5 million now. Like, he's already got it.
Really?
He can spend it. It's there to use, right? He doesn't have to wait the 70 days to use it.
That's crazy.
Brian's going to be in the same spot when he launches his book on his platform. Like, that's the difference. Now, it's high risk because if something goes wrong and you start spending people's money and then for whatever reason you can't fulfill a book, you know what happens when you take people's money and don't give them their book in crowdfunding. It's like, that's it. You're out. You get one shot at that. You don't get to come back from that. But we're talking about that guy, Magnificent Bastards. He paid his artist on his credit card. So he's put himself in the shit with the bank. And now his artists don't, like, he needs to recoup that money. But now he's got to wait for some, I don't know, person who works at Indiegogo to sort of go, oh, yeah, it looks like, and they might not even know. Like, oh yeah, it looks like it was flagged. I see, I don't know, there's a gun on it or whatever it is. I don't know. And then you have to take that off, and then they unlock your money. That's the situation on Indiegogo right now. But I think, yeah, more worrying is what's happening with Phil, and you can't actually, like, they don't get to take advantage of the algorithm.
Yeah. which makes you wonder, like, how big a
What's
deal
the
that's
point
actually
at that
playing
point?
onto their campaign. One other point, Mike, that probably like affects you and me more than anyone else in CG is the fact, like, there's problems with making payments to Australian companies from America sometimes.
Hmm.
For example, I was on a stream backstage with Crackhead, Aldous, Lord Ravener, those guys, right? DWAG. And like 3 of them all told me they had issues with their credit card trying to buy my book. Like they had to use a different credit card or they had to call up their bank, right? So these guys did this, went out of their way to buy my book, right? They're actual true fans, right? To put that much effort in. How many people won't do that, Mike? I'm not doing
Lots.
that. I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
unless I'm friends with the person, if I'm getting any sort of blowback from my credit card company, I'm super lazy. I can't be fucked calling up my credit card company to get a payment to go through for one book. It's not going to happen. How many people are we potentially missing out on here? Ridiculous.
Perth Comics says, computer says no. Todd McFarlane said, I seem a lot more intelligent than this other guy.
No one's debating that. Mortal V says, Discover threw a fit with Replicator, but MasterCard didn't. Usually it's the other way around. Phil says, that's a bank issue. The bank has a protection alert because they are buying from Oz. Yeah, exactly. So we're fucked.
Why are they pretending like we're Kazakhstan or Nigeria or something? It's
Yeah, I mean, we've got
Australia. We're one of the richest nations on earth.
a whole bunch of terrorists here. Oh, clearly. We're funding. Just searched again without the filter and it showed up right away. Well, it's going to be interesting. I've contacted them. It's going to be interesting to see what they say. Simply Green, I was wondering if something similar had to do with Rippa. The difference between crowdfunding and a purchase may have swayed a number of people. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's people. I've heard people say that as well, and I think yes, definitely. There's a bit of a rift forming amongst the crowdfunders. What crowdfunding actually means. We heard Ethan say it means the funding and of the creation of the book. We've heard others say, well, you can fund the actual production of the book, the printing of the book, and then a lot at the same time the shipping. It doesn't really matter the shipping as much because you spend shipping anyway, no matter what. But more the actual printing of the book and all that sort of stuff. So when is it crowdfunding? Ripper's definitely isn't crowdfunding. Crowd selling. I don't even know if it's crowd selling.
Do you care? Do you
It's just
care
put
either
the
way?
spin. I don't personally care, but I do know. I think if people have never backed a crowdfunder before, I can see how it would be a potential roadblock that you don't really need to be there. The most obvious downside to all of that is, I mean, asking everyone to have their books completed before they launch is gonna and that's a massive roadblock to new people coming in. That
If that was the case, like
that
if that was the
crowdfunding came
rule,
in to that's the reason why people started crowdfunding in the first place, because
yeah.
people can't afford to put up massive amounts beforehand.
Todd says, notice how well formulated and well spoken Bancroft's thoughts are. Try to be like that, Robbie. That's why this show works, Todd, because I say things, then Bancroft makes them sound intelligent.
Yeah. No, it's not. Timothy Fitzgerald is right. It's not feasible. So, and I don't think it's, when I say there's a rift, I don't think it's like the rift between, digital artists and traditional artists. It's just a difference of opinion. It doesn't really matter either way. There's pros and cons to both, depending, if you're a creator or a fan. And we've had plenty of books where people have said, "Oh, the book's done," and then
I
2
do
years
think
later, Still
I
don't
do
have it.
think
So
I do think Bancroft, right? I do think that this is the case. I think that if your book is completely done and you go and crowdfund it, I don't think you will have as much success as if the book is not complete. Like, so you're actually getting the crowdfund. I do think people care about that. Do you agree or not?
no, well, I mean, I know Rippa isn't crowdfunding per
Different.
se, but
That's
uh,
like when people say
it,
Ethan,
it
like
puts the spin.
they're so far outside of the realm of the normal that it's a terrible comparison.
All right, okay. Well, well, if you want to discuss these things and set parameters. Uh, Look, I just think it's a bit of a different. Look at that face.
Oh no. Let me just refresh this. I just want to see
It's
what
just
we're
a bit
at.
of a different audience. Some people want to feel like they're investing and they're
Yes.
part of the creation. Others don't care. I think actually when I've seen people do polls on this stuff, the majority actually just want the book. They're not interested in everything else that goes with it. They don't want a relationship with the creator. I think that's the majority of people. But certainly the people who do want that do get a lot out of it. I know that because I'm one of them. I do like the idea of investing in the creation of something. But again, I'm different because I really don't care when I get the book. As long as I get it eventually, that doesn't bother me. So
Who
I know that
is
that's
Todd
probably a
McFarlane?
minority opinion. What
Who
do you
is
mean?
he?
Who's Todd McFarlane? He's the
Who is
creator of
he?
Spawn.
Who is he really? You know what I'm saying. Who is this person pretending to be Todd McFarlane insulting my beautiful Rob Hawke? Unbelievable. D says, I'm not fussed if it's ready or not. I like getting things faster, but that's about it. I don't know. I don't think I would trade like me being a fan. Like I would rather see Ethan and Bancroft working on their books on a stream as opposed to them just having the books done. I feel invested in them when they do that.
I feel the same way. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's the majority of people, though. I think that's obviously the majority of people who hang out on our live streams.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Phil's going to take a shower and is letting us know. Thanks for that.
he's not gonna take a shower. He's if Phil Diaz took a shower every time he told the chat he's going to take a shower, he'd be showering 20 times a day.
Maybe
He
draw
just wants you
streams
to
are
think
good.
about him naked.
I agree. I really like your stream, your draw stream, Bancroft, or our draw stream, whatever you want to call it. I think it's good.
I
think
like all draw streams actually.
I think the one we're doing next week is going to be fun for me, at least. There is something about a cheap book, Bancroft, that I don't think can really be denied after what we've seen with Zach and his $1.
Did you say a sheep book? Like
cheap?
Oh,
Cheap.
cheap.
That's it.
Yeah, I thought you said sheep. I thought we were like getting into New Zealand books or something. There's something about a cheap book. What are you talking about?
There is something to like a cheap book. You've got your boy Zach who did the $1 things, made over $100,000. Then you've got Murph, right? First campaign, and Murph's is a little bit confusing because people have gone back and backed different things because he's the first one really to do the secret perk kind of thing with no shipping. So people would go back and back it. So these 1,800 backers here, they may be more like 1,000. I don't know, but they're not 1,800 individual backers. Bancroft is what I'm saying, but he does a complete set of 6 issues for $25. So that's what $4 less than what's that maths, like $4 a book, which is well below like the norm. So there has got to be something to that if we've seen it so successful for first Zach and then Murph. What do you think?
Yeah I think that's obvious. I think it doesn't even really need to be stated. The higher you price your book, the more people you're going to price out. So then it becomes an argument of, well, who is the crowdfund for? And I would argue it's for the people who are real, like the real base, the real super fans, the real investors. Now, some people have this, like Murph, has decided to get his book out there, run at a loss,
Yeah.
and that's Zach did the same thing. I mean, he did a loss leader, so it's different. Like he can actually still turn a profit by selling the other books at a higher price. But yeah, obviously, I mean, shit, I've bought tons of books. Actually, I've probably bought 20 books over these last 2 years that I was just like, well, I wasn't going to back, but damn, that's a damn good price. Fine, whatever. I mean, shit, $10,
Yeah,
$6,
you
whatever. I
backed
mean,
your
yeah, sure,
boys,
I'll
didn't you?
back
You
it.
backed the $1 book.
Yeah, I wasn't going to back Zach, and then he's like, I was like, $1. I mean, I was like, oh, I really like the art. I like Aaron Lopresti's art. He's kicking ass. So yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1.
Risebub says, "Oh, we got 78 people in here, so you hit subscribe. We're eight subs away from 1,000. That's so close, Bancroft. It could happen in the next 30 minutes, potentially." Risebub says Zach was also looking to win back backers he lost over late books, and then he lost a lot of them again from that rant that he did.
Yeah,
It's
and then
crazy.
follow up subsequent posts on YouTube. Mo put it best, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That's what he did. Jeremy says, hang on. Jeremy says Murph took a big hit on shipping, sending the first 3 issues out like that. And he's going to send the 4th one out like that too, Jeremy. Murph is
By
not making
itself,
money on this campaign.
yeah, crazy.
But he's I mean, he said this, you can go onto any of his streams or you chat with him. He said he's trying to get his book out to as many people as possible. And in that he has succeeded. So yeah, you're like, it's really what you want out of it. For me, I want to crowdfund the book so that they can be made and printed and get in people's hands. People can read the story, word of mouth, all that sort of stuff. I want it to be a premium, top quality product. I know what that's going to cost. And I understand that I'm going to be locking out a lot of people from backing or supporting me by pricing it the way I price it. I think it's actually pretty well priced. It's probably likely going to be over 100 pages all told. So for $25, I think that's pretty damn reasonable. But it's still $25 on a book when a lot of people out there turn their nose up at spending more than $5 ever on a comic. Ever.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't buy trades. I buy comics. They're like $3, $5, whatever. So
Gone are the days where comics are selling in the millions and people like they can charge little because they're making so much due to sheer numbers. They're done. Those days are finished. Tiny Baby Sloth. I'm not
even then I always thought it was too cheap.
Yeah.
Even then I would go like, I'm spending $1.20 on this. Look at all this. It's like 20 pages of awesome Mark Bagley art. It's like, wow, this is a steal. I always thought that.
I know people like look back and love like the golden age of comics, but I think the art in like the last 30 years has gone so far beyond what they used to do. Like it's not even comparable. That's just me. Tommy Baby Sloth. I'm not going to back Zach. His how much live stream do I owe video turned me off. I know Bancroft, and you won't agree, but I feel like I owe people live streams. I do. I feel like I have to. I feel like that's been part of the community. Maybe "owe" is not the right word. I enjoy it as well. That helps.
You've made it part of your marketing strategy.
What?
So,
My face.
you know, you kind of have to, because what
Yeah.
else are you going to do? I don't think Zach has to.
No.
I don't think anyone who really doesn't want to stream should stream. We've seen what that can do, and we've seen when it can go real bad.
Yeah. And some people are terrible at it. They're just really bad at it. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's usually the reason. They either hate it.
yeah.
Usually people are really bad at it because they don't like it. It's a
Yeah.
chore. It's something they go through to sell books, but they don't enjoy it at all, and it shows. Get Mo's latest comment. That's
Jesus,
classic.
Mo. O is not the right word for your live streams, Rob. You inflict your live streams upon us. Thank you, Mo.
Yes.
5 subs. 5 subs, dude. It's getting close, man. It's crazy. Justice says, I hate modern comic art. Most digital art is cold and amateurish. Yeah, I mean, we're going to disagree there. I think what people are doing now is the majority above what has been done in the past. I just do. I think mainstream art has gone to shit. I don't think many people disagree with you there, Jasper. I do think too, like, being like a charismatic streamer, there is like a component to it. Like, I think having the voice, right, is important. Like, I think Zach has that voice that's easy to listen to. I think Ethan does as well. There are people that don't have that. They have the opposite of that. That listening to them is like nails on a chalkboard. There are people out there that are streaming like that, and it hurts. Maybe I'm one of them. Who knows? One thing that has been really, I want to say, under-mentioned or not mentioned enough because of this whole Eric July thing, Bancroft, and that, thanks, Todd, I agree. That is Crackhead's giveaway. Like, we should be celebrating that thing. That was like one of the top moments in CG history for me. Like,
I did a whole stream on it. What do you want me to do?
I'm thinking just like feel good factor moments in CG, right? I'm thinking off the top of my head when Billy was on your stream and you did the art auction thing for him.
Mm.
Great moment. That was incredible. I really liked Joe Sontag's Rippa Destroyer launch because it showed you probably the perfect example of what you can do if you do everything the best of your ability. You build that audience, you get some great artists, you get people hyped. That was amazing. Again, launched on your channel. And then the giveaway that Crackhead did with Aldous and all the other guys. I don't want to just say it's only Crackhead. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was really top notch, and I kind of hope like some bigger channels would pick it up and say, "Good job, guys! You've done a great thing here." What do you think, mate? What do you think about the whole thing?
I guess I don't really follow what you're asking here. Yeah, it was incredible. It was an amazing night. I wish more people watched it. I mean, he got 150 live, and I'm sure he's got others since then. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic moment when John did that thing, and
That was great.
just actually the whole lead up to it was pretty unprecedented. I did a stream afterwards celebrating it. I guess I don't know what much more we can do about it, is what I'm saying.
4 away from 1,000.
Just gonna ignore all that?
No, I'm getting to it. I just want to. I
saw
saw it. Yeah, I don't know what we can do. Like I said, our corner of CG, this little pocket that we're in,
It's getting
Camel.
bigger. It's not that little.
It's very true. It is getting bigger. Crackhead, all those guys, like they were promoting that like all the time, constantly, and it probably didn't reach the amount of people that they thought it would or should have reached really in CG. I think I
No,
don't
I
think
think
that'd be
I
fair to
think it
say.
reached a massive number of people.
Do you? I mean, they only had like 160 entries. I think they were expecting more. Like Roquefort art, Malin art. I mean, come on, like the list goes on and on. I mean, Crackett's in chat. He can tell us.
Rob, I don't know why you're continuously surprised about how small we are. Still,
I don't know. It's
we're not.
surprising.
I mean, we do very well. We punch way above our weight, but no, I mean, I think it was a resounding success. And
I'm not saying it wasn't a success, dude. It was, like I said, it was one of the best moments in CG for me. I watching the stream though, there were a couple of people that weren't that happy with how it was run, and I'm just like, fuck, man, why does everyone have to make something good be such a headache for people? Why can't they just sit back and enjoy it?
because that's life, and you never ever make everyone happy, and you'll go mental trying, and you will make whatever you're doing that much worse in the attempt. All you can do is do the best you can, and if people are going to moan, they're going to moan. And yeah,
John says it here, because the unhappy hate happiness, Rob.
oh look, there's people out there who will not I don't know, Jasper. I love it when Jasper becomes the voice of reason in the chat. Then we really know we're getting in. This is like deep Ribblecopter territory. What was I saying?
Dude, I hope, right? I hope that they don't take all the very small amount of negative feedback they got. I hope they don't take it to heart and then not want to do something in the future. I'm just saying, I hope they don't do that. You know, it sucks. Like, everyone should just be like, yeah, that was great. Thank you for doing it.
we had this here tonight. Like John Alexson, he's sick of hearing about Rippa. Okay, I get it. Like everywhere he turns, he's like, I want to hear something else in Comicsgate. Well, we kind of, the majority of the chat did want to hear about Rippa. And I've been talking about Rippa now for 3 days straight. Trying to think of new ways that we can sort of like a new take on it. That's an interesting take that I haven't heard before. That's what I think our job as Comicsgate pundits is. We just reached 1.5 mil. Look at that.
Crazy.
You did that, Rob. You can claim
yep.
that.
All of Eric's success is completely down to me. Thank you.
So we can't just ignore what's hot right now because some people aren't into it. We can't make everyone happy, and we shouldn't try to. I guess that's all I want to. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Jeremy's channel is just going bonkers. It's like Dalkion called it like the heart and soul of Comicsgate. This is
how cool is that?
Like amazing.
Did what?
And
we hit it.
It'll be fine. It'll be great. It's going great.
Did we do it?
Shit. How long's Jeremy? Oh, you did it?
I don't know. Hang on.
What are you up? Hang on.
997.
Ooh. How long has Jeremy been doing it? I mean,
I don't know how long Jeremy's been doing it, Mike. It's a bit personal.
Rob.
It's
Lord
been a long day. It's been a long day.
It has. Like he hasn't had his channel that long, and he's had 150 people in his chat. This should be encouraging. Anyone out there who wants to start a channel, like just do it. Get involved. And look what Jeremy's done.
We are 3 subs away from 1,000. Yeah, dude's been putting in work too, man. Like, he's not just doing one stream a week like I am. like on my own channel. He's doing multiple.
Why aren't you streaming and making more videos, Rob? Let's turn this high-powered, laser-focused magnifying glass back on you. Trying to build your audience here, Rob. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm on the precipice of 1,000, Mike. I did a video not yesterday. 999. Are we there? Oh, that is sick. I should have sent
Crackhead look at that. Link. Welcome to the club. Your ring is in the mail.
Thank you so much, guys.
Do you have anything to play? Do I just like clap? Do you have anything lined up? Do I have to teach you how to YouTube, Rob?
Dude, I ask for your help all the time. You're like, fuck off, Rob. I don't want to help you, stupid dickhead.
I lead by example. You should have some kind of celebration music lined up.
Okay, ready?
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down.
How's that? Great? You enjoyed it?
That was actually pretty good. But you just turned it off.
You guys, it sounds like refresh. I bet he's unsubbed. Let's have a look. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Thank you.
It was fleeting. Oh, it was short-lived.
That is like my life. You know, one moment of happiness and it's all taken away from me. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys coming here at whatever ridiculous time of night this is for you. And we've got like 80 people watching Bancroft. It's incredible.
Remember when we started and there was like 20 people?
I know, right? Thank you so much, dude, for your help too. Like, with the channel, like I wouldn't have done it without your help.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. You know, I enjoy our little powwows.
Check again, Rob. 1K, we're back. We're back.
It'll go up. This will be like that. You know, when you were trying to get over 50K, and it was just
oh my god, that was crazy.
Popping up and down.
Yeah. Is GG still big in Australia? You're gonna have to explain what that is.
GG.
You're welcome, Rob. 4:42 a.m. God damn.
Yeah, there's people are night owls in Comicsgate. I've learned that.
It amazes me, man. Like, I don't know how people do it. I'm like, I stayed up to like midnight last night. It's like the latest I've been up in like years.
Yeah. If I go past 11, I'm just like a zombie. You know, when you stay on the couch, you're watching TV, and you're just like, I can't be bothered getting up. And I was like, oh, I'm too tired to go to sleep.
Dude,
I was drawing and I hadn't drawn anything in a while.
Do you ever lay down, right? And you're like really uncomfortable in the position you're in, but you can't be fucked moving. So you sit there for like half an hour being uncomfortable, or lay there for like half an hour being uncomfortable. Does anyone else do that, or is it just me?
More riveting questions from Rob. Rob turns to 1,000 backers, and the first question he asks is, do you ever lie in a position when you're uncomfortable because you can't be bothered? This is how you get there, everyone. You want 1,000 subs? This is how you do it.
Golden Girls, right? Yes. Is it a thing in Australia?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, is it a thing? I mean, it's on Netflix or something. Here's a little topical question. Well, not really a question, just more of a statement. No, it is a question. How many Comicsgate channels now have over 1,000 subs? Back in the day,
20?
There weren't many. There weren't many. I can remember looking at Adam Post's channel. I remember he used to build his channel with videos. He'd do daily videos on the Comicsgate network. That was his thing. And I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, just get on a video and just talk about a CG topic, you know, for 10 minutes or so. And he only had like 800 subs. And I thought that was like a massive channel, because I had probably like, I don't know, 50. And
we're back.
It keeps going up and down. And yeah, and I remember when Greater Point 5 got a shout out from Ethan and jumped over 1,000. I remember Wanger getting over 1,000. But now, apart from the big guys, there weren't many. It really weren't. It was like almost no one had 1,000. But now, like, it's like so many people do.
I think the more impressive thing than that is just the amount of like live viewers everyone is getting. Like, you know, like even us.
Yeah, but that's part of the reflection of that, I think. It's like comes part and part.
82. You're getting anywhere from like 100. The highest I saw was like 340 or
That
something.
was the special event.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You stream so often and consistently, you'll get those bumps and those valleys, I guess. But your consistent number is actually pretty high now. Like, do you know what it is consistently? Like 120? I don't know.
The lowest is like 60.
Yeah.
So if I got 60 in there, that's like probably the floor. I mean, it would have to be. I'd have to be up against Ethan, Shane, Yellow Flash, Tug,
Me,
and you know,
and me
be doing a Star Trek stream.
Yeah.
You know, to go down under that, I guess. But yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, I mean, hovering around 100 is probably a decent.
Mo says 52 when he has PTP on.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. It can happen. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't like we did a draw stream actually the other day, and we were up against. It was late, so obviously, you know, and we were up against Ethan, I think, and we had like 20 something. It doesn't bother me. It's fine. But Mo, that was a while ago. That was like 2 months ago. There's actually been a fair amount of channel growth in the last month.
One thing I like doing is when like a creator pops in the chat, I like bringing up their campaign. I think it's just a nice thing to do, and obviously you can't do it all the time. But this is Kozor, and I think it's either at the printer or it's like going to be printed very soon. So if you haven't got it, do so. It's going to look fantastic. They're using the same printers that both Mike and I used, so the quality is going to be really high. And like the art quality is going to be right up there. They're 3 backers away from 600. So if you haven't,
they're going to be really happy to get this monkey off their back, I think.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where you're just carrying the thing around and you need it out and gone, because clearly these guys have grown a lot since the launch of this. I always think back. I mean, remember when you hadn't done Replicator 3, I hadn't done Waking Dream, they hadn't launched this yet, and I was like, we were all so innocent and starry-eyed, just trying to we had no idea, you know, where we would end up. And you know, they've their art, both of them, has grown so much. Corey's drawing that sci-fi thing now. They've got the Borok thing going. I don't know if Clayton's going to do his Renegade Alpha thing, but this, you know, they've been the whole time. They've still had this thing going with them. They're going to have it's going to be such a relief for them to have this off their backs and out there, so they can. Kind of remember the first time I sat down to work on new pages for Painted Death. It was just it was such an energizing moment. It's like, finally I'm going forward again.
Mo says, Rob, hurry up and apply for monetization before you say something that makes people unsubscribe again. It's bound to happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Bancroft, but by the end, when you're late, it does really take a lot of the enjoyment out of the whole process. I find, you know, where's my book? And, you know, people are waiting on it. It does get a little bit rough. I don't know if you felt that too. or it was just
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating, and you're trying to balance getting the book out while not compromising on the quality. And I remember thinking that's going to be another 3 days. I was like, God, that's another 3 days
Mm.
longer, for whatever it was. I can't remember what happened, but it's like you really do start counting the days, and you're like, you just want it to be over and out and done.
Yeah, I feel for Clint with Fatal, like, because I mean, I've been in a similar
That's a rough
situation.
situation.
You can't. What can he do? Like, you can't do anything. It's like, can I have some pages? Yeah, when I'll get to them. Same with Cal and Rob Willis, like Shinobi Sasquatch. That must be fucking agonizing. A lot of he's brought it on himself, but holy shit, that would be horrible. You got anything else, man?
No, I do not.
What about you guys in chat? Is there anything that you want to say, you want to get off your chest? Anyone you're loving or anyone pissing you off? Let's see what they say. Reni's going to be shipping her books, which is great.
Hopefully she got some that she can put up on CG Now. I don't know if she did, but that would be cool.
Did I ask you? I don't know if I asked you. What do you think about Ethan's second chance campaign? Because I think it's a really great idea from a business point of view. Like, I think I said this to you. I think you definitely make more money doing it that way than just having it stay in demand the whole time. But do you think that that's kind of a no-go? Or do you think it doesn't really matter? Like, could you right now, do like because you've already fulfilled, so that doesn't really work.
It would be very weird of me to do a second chance Waking Dream campaign as I'm like trying to get Pain and Death off the ground. Ethan is far away from launching Wrecked Planet. All right. Cyberfrog is his IP, but he's got Rainbow the Brute he's got to get done. And despite what YouTube will tell you, I mean his fan base is growing, and it's growing every day, and they want the book. They can't get it. It's like at what point do you stop saying, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to wait until I get this other book out of the way, or go pick it up on eBay or whatever? Like, because the original backers have already waited a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have to wait another, I don't know how long it takes to get Rainbow the Brute out. I mean, I don't know why you would say no. People are asking for it. People are probably begging for it. Just do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. For me, I would be concerned that people would get pissed off about it. But I mean, I think it's a good idea. So,
well, the book is done.
Yeah.
It's just getting lettered. It needs to be produced. It's going to be a big process getting it made, because it's a lot, these are big numbers and stuff. So it's not as if the original backers are going to be getting their book any later. They're going to be getting it at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's I don't think there's too much to get upset about, but maybe I'm not thinking of something that someone is that,
Norman Rad says, what's a decent rate to charge for an editor? I have a 40-page script that's almost ready. I guess it depends what type of editor you're looking for. If you're looking just for a basic proofreader, it'll be pretty cheap. But if you're looking at what Mike's got going with Joe, I don't think that's very cheap at all, is it, Mike?
No, it's a significant expense. And I'm getting mates rates from Joe. So Joe's doing story editing. art editing, like overall series consultation. Obviously, dialogue. He's responsible for grammar, copy, typos, and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, if you're looking for a copy editor, I wouldn't imagine it'd be very expensive. You could probably get them, for like $10-20 a page or something like that. I don't know. I don't know, actually. I've only used it.
I've got one. If you want to reach out to me, I can put you on the one. Seems Snake Oil says creators run into problems when they go over their intended page count. Yes, and I don't know why they're doing it. Stop doing it. It's not worth it.
Or promise an entire new 50-page book for a stretch goal. That'll do
crazy. I want to see what the second chance one is. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I back the honeycomb box because I'm like, I'd rather have that than the money. That's basically what it comes down to. But if I died, I'd rather have the honeycomb box than, the $200 or $250 or how much ever much it was.
Is he going to think about things, Rob? If I
do when it comes to like backing books. Yeah, I do actually. Don't act like you're surprised, mate.
New every day about.
Don't act like you're surprised. You would expect that from me. Cyberfrog launches this weekend, right? Yeah, I want Brute. That's an interesting one. I would, if it was me, if it was my choice, and everything on this show is my choice.
If you were ruler of the world,
exactly right. I would just keep I just keep Ethan on Cyberfrog. I think that's what people want.
Yeah, well, what's done is done. And Rainbow the Brute made a lot of money, I think, didn't it?
I think it was like $400,000 or something.
There's probably a lot more to make.
Yeah.
Because it's basically at this point going to be a whole new campaign. Once he starts getting art out, once he releases it, people are going to be seeing it and talking about it again for the first time in, what feels like years. Especially in CG, like a year and a half in Comicsgate is like an eternity.
It is going to be interesting to see if, like, how Ethan and Rippa, like, if Ethan can work with Rippa and vice versa to cross promote their books at the same time, like how that will play out. Like, will Rippa's audience come over to Ethan's audience, vice versa? He could like it's good. It's really good timing. He could do really well with it. D says, I was pissed about Brute, but EVS was upfront about it on the stream the other night. Oh yeah, that's when I was asking the questions, wasn't it? Yeah, Rainbow the Brute is at 466,367. So
that's his side hustle. That's his $500,000 side hustle.
Yeah, I mean, he must make absolute bank off eBay as well. Like, absolute.
He makes $400,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, that's
off
pretty,
eBay.
That's pretty decent, isn't it? That's crazy. Rob, what's
the channel's a couple of thousand
moderation policy on simping in the chat? What if you want, Mo? It's fine. What's going on with Joe? Is he all right? Is he back? He's lost a lot of weight. What's happening there?
Well, he's obviously, we had COVID.
Yeah.
And
is he okay?
That he was in hospital for a long time, and that had long-term effects and exposed previous things that he had. And there's all sorts of other things happening in his life that we're not going to go into. I mean, he seems okay, but he looks great. He's lost a lot of weight.
Lost a truckload of weight, hasn't he?
Yeah. And it's just like 2022 has been rough on Joe. So, hopefully 2023 will be kinder. But he was planning on launching Outliers in May.
Oh yeah.
And he's
been put through the ringer.
It's like the universe doesn't want him to make it, but he'll get it done. He's very determined, tenacious, and yeah.
Oof, that is a great idea. Today on Ripper's stream, Ethan asked him if you wanted to cover for book 2. Ripper said, of course, reach out and let's get it done. Damn, that would go off. That would be huge. That would absolutely be massive. It's a great idea. All right, I mean, we're at 2 hours. Thank you everyone so much for hanging in the whole show. Had like 80 people here the whole time. We got 1,000 subs again, which is great. I made a fantastic new intro that Bancroft didn't like at all. Took me hours. That's okay.
It was all right.
Make sure you subscribe and sign up to Bancroft's Painted Death and Replicator Fault. Links are in the description below. Thank you all so much. Anything you want to say, Bancroft, before we go? Thanks everyone again.
Yeah, sub to my channel as well. I was in, where was I? I was in a stream in the chat today, and someone said, I didn't even realize Bancroft had a channel. I've just gone and
crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Like you assume in these parts that people will know, but never assume. You never know. Yeah, please do go subscribe to my channel, Michael Bancroft. We have fun over there, and do sign up to Painted Death. It's going to be awesome.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. I'm not playing an outro. We're just going to end it. All right. So catch you later. Bye. Thanks, Mo.